tried to do it, rotate the screen. I don't know what's going on my phone. It won't work. Drive. I'm not going to be able to play with it. A lot of stuff going on with, the Supreme Court, states playing, So we're going to try to explain how laws are supposed to work in this country. So let's start with, you're supposed to have the immunities and privilege in one state as you do the many states, or in the many states as you do the one, rather. If you have an immunity or privilege in Ohio and you cross over to Kentucky or Indiana, you're supposed to have the same immunities and privileges there that you do in Ohio. The reason for this is so that, there's multiple reasons for it. The main reason being that laws are supposed to be very limited. They don't coincide with natural law. In our Constitution, it's not supposed to be a law, and laws are really the only purpose of laws, because we all know what's bad. Theft. It's bad. We naturally know stealing is bad. We know that murder is bad. It's evil, right? The purpose of making murder illegal, though, is so that if somebody is accused of murder, there is a way of making sure that they get due process. And nothing that we see today it's not due process. It's use of force followed up by a demand for ransom, followed up by a circus. And ask any cop that works today, they overcharge you every time. They always overcharge you. If you commit it, like in Ohio, the system is, misdemeanor 1 through 4s, and then minor misdemeanors. Felony 5, which is the lowest felony, to felony 1, which is the highest felony. Besides murder, I forget what they actually call it, like a murder case. I think they call them. I don't know what they call them. Now I think about it, I forget. But anyway, forget, it's been a long time since I had to deal with it. Anyway, but we now, you can, in one state, there's something that's perfectly legal, in the next state it's not. The Supreme Court initially, their purpose was for the people to figure out, find out, decide if a law was unconstitutional. If so, strike that law down. It wasn't supposed to take years. They wasn't supposed to be able to decide whether or not they take this case and shit. But see, they become so overwhelmed because of the system we now have in place, where it's just all this government bureaucracy. Government spends money, government grows. If it's no different than the mob. That's how our government's ran. 100% is ran like it's mob tactics. You will pay, or else we're going to take the money that you pay, and we are going to grow. We're going to get bigger, so we can make more money. But the laws are supposed to be limited regardless, and they're not. There's so many laws that you don't know. You don't know them. If you have to make a trip through 5 states, I feel for you if you really give a crap about the laws, because you're going to spend months researching it. It's not just can I carry a gun in the car if I go to Nebraska? Oh yeah, you can transport it, but how does that have to be? So in Ohio, if now they have the constitutional carry, but prior to that, in order to carry a firearm, the firearm and the ammo had to be in a separate compartment that zipped, locked button. If you're in a truck, the driver couldn't, if you're in any vehicle, the driver couldn't be able to reach the firearm from the driver's seat without, I forget how it's worded, basically you have to get out of the vehicle in order to be able to reach it. Which in trucks, that's, you kind of reach it anywhere, depending on the truck. Oh was thinking I forgot my weld helmet. I got to do some weld. I did throw it in here. Been a long morning. But now you have the Supreme Court that it's not for the people. It's been politicized, and not only that, it's now moot. Doesn't matter what the Supreme Court says. Look what just happened in California and New York. The Supreme Court says you can't, you know, create a law in this manner. New York and California throws a finger up to us and says we're going to do what we want, bitches. Stop us. And you know the kicker of it is that you have thugs with badges, even though they know what the Supreme Court said, even though they know it's wrong, because it's law, they will enforce it at any cost. Because they know when they hit that button on the radio, or they hit that man down button, or whatever you want to call it, the troops are going to come running. Doesn't matter how unconstitutional it is. And the thing is, you know, is that everything's just ass backwards, especially when it comes to that. And we're not going to ever change that. The police are never going away, because look at the scam now. So like everything that happens to us to some degree or another is a scam, right? And that's just how you got to kind of look at it. Look at what's going on with the big bitches that Congress just approved, you know, however many billions of dollars for the IRS to create 87,000 more IRS agents. The logic behind this, according to Congress, is that they're, you know, it's going to make sure the wealth pays their fair share of the wealthy. Anybody, if you don't make less than, you know, they say if you make less than 400,000, it's not going to affect you, because the majority of the country makes less than $400,000. If they said, hey, majority of the country, we're going to screw you, what do you think would happen? Always notice that anything that affects the majority, they try to veer away from, because the majority can cause chaos. The majority can change things. The majority is a lot of force. You know, that's the one thing government understands is brute force. So if they're going to trick you into not applying that force, then they have the monopoly on force and violence. You know, they tell you to be peaceful as they send their thugs out with guns and badges, and they can kill you. I mean, they literally have the ability to kill you with no questions asked. And people won't question that, because like now, people are bitching because the IRS, you know, they approved all this money for the IRS, but they're not refunding the police that have been defunded. They're not giving the police all this money. We're having a crime wave. Yeah, we're having a crime wave. You know, we're having a crime wave for two reasons. Number one is because you fear your government. So you fear, you know, if somebody punches you in the mouth, you call the cops because you're afraid if you punch them back, you're going to go to jail. Which is bullshit. Fuck that. I tell people all the time, the world was a far better place when people were punched in the mouth on a regular basis. I'll stick to that shit till the day I die. It was. Now we live in a world where people hide behind keyboards and they want to call you bitches and shit. Motherfucker, you know my address, come call me a bitch. You won't do it. Why? Because you're a coward, number one. And like I tell you, I will not call the cops. Period. They're not welcome at my place. Anyway, people still won't come. They'll call you a bitch. The second reason is, I forgot what I gave you the first reason for, so now I'm all pissed off about people calling you bitches and shit. People uncomfortable. Fuck, I totally forget now. Started thinking about something else. My bad, guys. Sorry about that. Just kind of how my brain works. I can't follow a thought long enough because I get off sidetracked because of my other thoughts. It's a thing. Oh, so you now have this crime wave, right? And you're afraid to call the police or you're afraid to do anything because you don't want to go to jail, right? It's okay for them to burn your building to the ground. It's not okay for you to fucking shoot them for doing it, because they'll call the police. Somebody call the cops, you'll go to jail. You are afraid of force. You're afraid of government. So what does this do? Well, in the mind of the sheep, what it does is it's like, oh my goodness, we need more police. There's all this crime. Well, you would take care of it yourself if you didn't fear the cops, unless you're just some bitch, which there's probably a pretty high probability that most people are bitches. But just because you're a bitch doesn't mean I have to be a bitch. I'm sorry my screen's this way. Something's going on with my phone. Been a rough, been one of those mornings. You know what I mean? You ever just have one of those mornings? Today was mine. Mine. Hopefully, this is my morning for the month. It's that time of the month. Yeah, but so it's a scam. It's a Hegelian dialectic. We create the problem, and then we have the pre-planned solution, or you create the problem, get the reaction, then have the pre-planned solution for the reaction. Create the problem, the crime, right? They tell cops to stand down, defund the police, whatever. Arrest people who are being, doing the right things. Let other people go. The reaction, oh my goodness, this crime wave, the pre-planned solution. We need more cops. So they haven't refunded the police now in a sense, but just wait, it's coming. You're going to get your wish. Just a matter of time, and it only gets worse from here. How do you fix a problem that people just don't understand? The lie's so big that get so pissed that there's so many side roads, so many detours that it's hard to even have a conversation about. And I've explained before, the best way to describe it in short is that imagine playing a Monopoly game and everybody's playing the same game. The people who have all the money in the world, the poorest people in the world, the people who make the rules, the people who enforce the rules, the people who decide if the rules are okay. Everybody's playing the same Monopoly game. And we're all going around and around and around the board. Well, the people who have the money that dictate the rules and pay the enforcers of the rules, they just stand on go. And every time you pass, instead of you getting $200, they get your $200. But the rules they apply to you don't apply to them because the ones they enforce refuse to enforce it on them. Not that it can't be enforced. I mean, look at Hillary. Any cop in Arkansas can arrest that fucking bitch at any time, or any cop in really in any state. I don't know what's going on with my phone. They didn't raid it though. They called, hey, we're going to stop by and pick up some paper. Whatever. He's still an FBI agent though. They ain't gonna fire him. It's not the cops against Blue Silas talking in sleep. You hot, buddy? Hey, Christy. Chris. Hey, we hit that. I gotta fix that thing today. I'm gonna fix it today when we get where we're going. Smack that motor. Blower motor in this car and you hit a bump and it'll shut off. It'll go a week with being fine, then you hit a bump and it'll shut off. It just that so happens to shut off back there. Can you hit that? I'm doing a live stream. You guys can't hear me because of the wind. Let me know. I'm sorry, hon. Hey, Chris, smack that. Get back to sleep. Hit it with the corner of it. Straight up and down. Up. There he goes. Oh, the bearings are locking up in it, or what? Probably what's happening. It's just set for a while. So I don't know. So, bearings are locking it up in it, or what? Let me try to fix this so it don't mess up the table for the microphone. Where are you at? You might want some air conditioner there, baby. I got you. Go back to sleep now. You can go back to sleepy. Well, once California and New York, immediately went against what the Supreme Court said, they're like, all right, you want to do this? We got you. We'll just reword it, change the scheme, and now it's going to have to go all the way back up through the chain to the Supreme Court again. So until the people stand up and say, you know what? There's no infringements. And if you try to kidnap anybody or cage anybody or whatever for exercising their rights, you're going to be treated as a criminal in our communities. They're literally training you now not to fight back. That's what the crime's about in the cities. They don't want you to fight back. Because the day will come when you will realize who the criminals are. And it's not your local gangbanger. I got more respect for the Crips and the Bloods than I do the cops. The Crips and the Bloods at least try to keep it between them. I mean, every now and then there's a bystander, and I feel bad for that bystander, and I wish it wouldn't happen. Fuck, there's bystanders every day in police work. They don't give a shit. They'll run over you if it means getting to me. If they want me, they will literally run over you if it means getting to me. And they'll tell you. And if that's what they want to do, look at Rick from Good Luck America. He used to be Think Like a Cop. Go back and watch some of his older videos where he's talking about, he'll tell you, yeah, I violated the people's rights. They was harboring a wanted felon. And so he justifies it. But now today, he talks about bad cops. Dude, you're a cop. There's no such thing as a good cop. They might be nice to you. They might think what they're doing is good. Doesn't make it good. Hitler thought what he was doing was good. So was he a good dude? He did good things for people. I got my phone turned down so low and I'm driving. I can't read your y'all's comments, guys, so I'm sorry. I just figured I'm just talking to the phone. I just figured y'all are talking amongst yourselves. Listen to my dumb ass in the background. But there's all this hope in the 2A community about all these cases going to the Supreme Court and shit. It don't matter if they go to the Supreme Court. Whatever state you live in is going to reword the law. Make it worse than it was to begin with. California, them dudes, if you want to follow the letter of the law in California, shit, you might as well move out. You can't even carry a gun. They give you concealed carry so you can sit on your front porch carrying, with the pistol concealed. You ain't going nowhere else. It's illegal to walk on the sidewalk. I don't know if it really is, but if a business owner don't post in the front window that you specifically can't exercise the right, you can't exercise the right. So do they need to put in the window that I can speak freely in that store? Just curious. You would think that. They've literally trained that they train you to believe that a right can be taken, and they did it. When the day comes, and it will come, maybe it might not be in our lifetime, maybe it will, I don't know. When the day comes that they decide that you are too dangerous to own firearms because of the shit that they do, because they know that they do some shit that they deserve to die for, like criminals rape people or murder people for no reason and shit like that. The only people that don't have guns are people that you call criminals today. Because they haven't been trained. They're untrainable. They're ungovernable. Just like that, you ever got that dog that he's working with that son of a bitch and working, and in the end it was all for nothing. You just cannot train them. That's what you call a criminal. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It is a bad thing that they, when they actually have victims. But the state can't be a victim. Today they can. They're a victim every time because they own you. Tell me I'm bullshit. Go commit a crime. Go punch somebody in the mouth. And look who you're fighting. You're not in court fighting the victim because you owe the victim something, which is how it's supposed to be. No. It's the state versus. The Commonwealth versus. It's never, Joe Blow versus Freedom Inc. because Freedom Inc. punched Joe Blow in the mouth. No. Joe Blow is the state's property. Freedom Inc. harmed the state's property. Therefore, it's the state versus Freedom Inc. Like I said, the scam's so big that people just don't want to believe the scam. And you start talking about it, and they think that you're like some conspiracy theorist. You're some far out, the frogs are gay type shit. And look what's happening with that. They're trying to shut you up. You can't even say what you think anymore without the possibility of being sued for everything you've ever worked for. Because you said some shit. And people didn't have to listen. They caused us emotional grief. Motherfucker, what do you call what the government does to me every day? Peaches and cream? Parachutes and kisses or some shit? I don't know. No. It's called emotional grief. Who cares if Alex Jones says some shit? And here's the thing. They've never proven what he said was wrong. They just proved it they didn't want him to say it. And we know that, let's just say it did happen. Why did it happen? Who was the shooter? And you're still seeing the shit with the scary black rifle and the gun's the problem. It's all manipulation. They're manipulating you to support your own oppression, and it's just going to continue down that road until there's nothing left to take, until there's nothing left to fear. On the other side of that, the man that fears nothing has nothing to lose. So at what point do you stop fearing everything? Like, even if you don't follow the laws, even if you put all that shit out of your brain, you just live your life, are you really free? Because freedom is the ability to do whatever you choose to do as long as you're not violating the rights of the next person. That's what freedom is. But you can't do that today. Because even if you live that way, you have no victims, you don't bother anybody's shit, the state now has rights. And you can violate the state's rights by offending it. It's some crazy shit, man. But like I said, you start talking about it, people just can't wrap their heads around that they've been lied to. It's easier to convince the population that it's easier to, how's it worded exactly? Oh fuck, total brain fart. It's easier to con someone than it is to convince them they have been conned. That applies to the whole population of people. Everybody's been conned. We're never going to convince enough people about the con. Even when you show them the facts and shit, then you can put it right in front of their face, right here. And they'll still deny it. It's like Munchausen syndrome. Your old man beat the shit out of you, but you still swear he loves you. No, bitch. He's a pussy, and he takes his frustration out on you because you won't do nothing. When that dude falls asleep, cut one of his nuts out with a spoon, and he'll stop hitting on you. But you might go to jail for assault, even though he beats the shit out of you on every Friday when he comes up to the bar. Like, it's just, little piggies enforce it. Because they're good little piggies, good at their job, saving society, to protect and serve. And it goes all the way down to, especially in Tennessee, they all say, "In God we trust." What happened to the separation of state and religion? It doesn't matter anymore, because if they can convince you that they believe in God, because we live in a country of mostly Christians, I say that loosely, then you're more likely to support them believing they're God-fearing people. But if you don't understand what believing in your own God is, you then wind up supporting evil. Like, especially over the past couple of months, and the more I think about it, I've thought about this a lot lately, like, the closer, every day when I wake up, I'm a day closer to death, whether that be from natural causes or a government bullet. I'm of the firm belief that a government bullet's going to kill me. For whatever reason. And it's not going to be because I did something harmful to somebody first. Or I bothered somebody's stuff. It's not going to be because of any of that. It's going to be because some fucking crybaby, a state or two away, probably Missouri, is going to make a phone call. Turn it down, baby. Whoa. Is going to make a phone call, and especially when they start implementing these red flag laws, and don't say it's not going to happen in your state. $750 million is a lot of money to spend any way the state wants to spend, pretty much. It's just to help the state implement these red flag laws, because if you say something they don't like, you're now dangerous. And like I said, to this day, I still haven't heard anybody say anything about the fact that you don't even have to own firearms for them to do this. But what it will turn into is it will be a need for a registry. once they kill 2 or 3 people that never had firearms, it'll be, well, we need to figure out who has firearms. But like I said, the 2A communities now in the Supreme Court shit, that shit don't matter. Let it go to the Supreme Court. They're going to, if they rule unconstitutional, they're just going to flip the law. They're going to reword it, change the scheme, keep on right on trucking. You know, like I'm genuinely surprised they've kept this shit going this long. Like, our currency is valueless. The world knows it. But because we have the most force, and we will apply the most violence, and we will kick the shit out of you unless you live in caves and wear sandals and have 40-year-old worn out AKs, a keyhole at 50 yards. Those are the only people we can't beat. And because they have the greatest weapon on the face of the earth. There's actually 2 of them, which is heart, number 1. Like it or not, whatever they did, doesn't matter. And a belief in their God. You cannot defeat that. There's no way to defeat it. Kill every fucking one of them, they still won. They went and met their God, and they truly believe in it. You know, when you live in a nation of Christians who will diet, exercise, get signed up on a transplant list, get chemo, get all these drugs injected into you that do nothing but harm you. And all in order to not have to meet your God. It's not about, everybody wants to, the reason that they don't want to die is because they don't believe in their God. Like, I believe in my God. I have no fear of death. I know one minute I'm going to be here, the next minute I'm not. And I don't really care what people say about my belief, about who I believe in or what I believe in. I've been questioning a lot of shit lately. You're not supposed to, praise any false idols, right? Jesus was a Jew. God was his father. He sent his son here for us, and now we praise his son? Are we praising a false idol? Scary shit. You now have Christians that believe that the Old Testament doesn't exist. Like, it's just been thrown out the window. Because now we have the Lord Jesus. We now have his words, which is not his words. Some of the words are allegedly his words. The truth is, he didn't write one of them. He could have said blue and somebody wrote it. I think about right now, but like, I believe in my God because of shit that's happened in my life. And I've talked about that shit before, man. Like, the running joke for years. It's just my kind of way of dealing with things. Like, religion would be brought up, and I'd be like, God hates me, I hate him back. And that's how a relationship works, and I'm cool with that. Like, how do you fucking talk to a motherfucker that's got that kind of attitude? You don't, and that was the purpose of me saying that. I dealt with my ex-wife's family, was missionary Baptist. Crazies is what they were. I said he was a preacher. He'd be up there preaching on Sundays and Wednesdays, and it was pouring in Jack on Mondays and Fridays. Craziest shit you ever seen. I remember thinking, why you want to watch porn and go in there and fuck that thing? Put your dick in that nasty bitch. I should have known better when I met her mom. Boys, always look at the mom. That's what you're getting with. Like it or not, that's what you're getting with. I don't care what a little Susie looks like today. She's going to look like mama by the time she's 40. That's been spiritual for a long time. A tenth of a second changed all that. Really, it was more than that. Really, it was just a series of events over months, over about a year period. It was just like, it was one thing after another, more pressure, more terrible shit happening. And then, like, I just convinced myself that, I guess it had to be somebody, might as well be me. And then I hated God more because I was being punished for the shit that I'd previously done, and I wasn't doing that shit anymore. But then I just accepted it, like, well, okay, I did some bad shit. I'm still ahead. This is my way of dealing with it or whatever. Somebody's way of punishing me. And then, like I said, I got in a car wreck and just some shit happened that day in the wreck. And some people tell me I just didn't see what I seen, and I know I seen it. And because of that, I have my belief system. I survived some shit I should not have survived. Well, I'm more than survived it. Fuck, I never even lost consciousness. You know what I mean? I was in a pretty terrible position. Okay, buddy. You want to run me over? I mean, they're like, there's another lane, bro. It's right there. It's right there to my left. Here, I'll tell you what. I'll get out of your way. That's how nice of a guy I am. There you go. Mr. Toyota Tacoma. That's blacked out, sort of. But it's got a Mexican driving it, if I want to bet. Oops, you can't see through the window. Michigan, water, winter, wonderland. Yeah, I don't want your damn water in Michigan, you clown. Oh, he's a cop. Oh, he's a Michigan cop. Prick, right in my ass. But you have, so I got my belief system over, like I said. It's just, I guess maybe it's a totality of shit that's happened in my life, but that was the kicker. Is that I seen some shit happen, I had physical evidence that it happened, and it couldn't be explained. And I'm thankful that all that shit happened because it was life-changing. I literally changed my life that quick. I decided within hours that, I'm done with all the bullshit, I'm done with all the dirt shit that I was doing, I'm done with drugs, I'm done with all of it. So I bring up the drug thing because it pains me to see people waste their life away. You want to get high? Cool. I was a get high guy. I love getting high. I can tell Christy she gets mad at fuck when I say this. Heroin was the best relationship I've ever had. Ever. And I'll probably it was the longest lasting relationship too. I had a problem with heroin in the sense that it didn't mean everything to me. It meant too much to me, though. But at the same time, when I wanted to stop, I always stopped. So, these people out there that say they cannot stop, you're just full of shit. My sister's boyfriend's daughter is strung out on pain pills in East Tennessee. So my sister calls me up. She's like, what can we do for her? I'm like, well, first of all, you can't do shit for her. Because here's what's going to happen, because she's not ready to quit. When she's ready to quit, she'll call you and ask you for help. But here's what's going to happen. She's going to want you to help her the way she wants you to help her. And her life's fucked up. She don't make good decisions. And now she's going to talk you into not making good decisions for her. So her mother lives in Michigan, the girl's mother. Her mother is driving her Suboxones to Tennessee because Tennessee, so in Ohio, Medicare will pay for Suboxones, drug treatment, whatever. In Tennessee, it's not that way, or at least it's harder. I know it wasn't that way a few years ago because my buddy Mike, who's now dead, tried to go on Suboxones forever, and it was costing him $1,300 a month to go to the doctor and get these medicines. And just like that scam, Purdue Pharma creates the problem, OxyContin. It has the reaction is let's ban all these pills. It makes it harder for all these drug addicts to get them. And more importantly, it makes it harder for the people who need to get them. They make money on the front, the middle, and the back side of them. And it just happens. They might get a little fine every now and then. Those fines don't get to the people whose lives they've destroyed. Well, they didn't destroy the people's lives. Those people chose to destroy their lives. And anytime they could have said no. The problem is never addiction. That's never the problem. The problem is running out of the substance that you are addicted to. So if the doctors would just keep giving them the drugs, then what would be the problem? Or if the people just go to the pharmacy and buy it themselves? I don't care. You want to get a bunch of Oxycontins, more power to you. I wouldn't suggest eating a bunch of Somas with it, though. It's a cool buzz. It just never really ends up well. You're going to lose all your money in your wallet in the middle of the night. Whatever dope you got left is going to be gone, not because you took it, because you lost it. What was I talking about? Oh, God. Christians. You know, so maybe that's why I feel the way I do. And, like, I have no fear of death. I don't go out of my way to try to escape death. Fuck, I've been to the doctor to, like, have my, real shit checked on my real shit. To be, like, for real checked out a long time. And I got issues, like some days I'm like, oh, there's probably a problem with that. No, fuck, if I die, I'll know. You know what I mean? And also, I'm just one of the people that believes that when you find out there's a problem, it's when the problem shows itself. Like the guy it's got, stage 3 cancer, stage 4 cancer. The female who's got stage 4 breast cancer. She never knew she was sick until she got told she was sick. And then everything about her changed. Everything about him changed. So I was like, something got something wrong. I'll find out. And that's why guys wearing sandals, living in caves, whoop the shit out of the most sophisticated military forces on the planet because they believe in their God for whatever reason that is. And we live in a country where people their God is government. They don't see it. They won't tell you that, but that's what it is. Their God is government. They will do whatever government says. Doesn't matter what God says. It matters what government says. Because government's here in my face, and my God is an afterthought, making government your God. So how do you defeat that? Like, how do you change that? I don't know of a way. I thought I knew of a way, but people just, they're not happy with any solution that doesn't leave everybody happy in the end. And I've never mentioned a solution where I thought that I would live through that solution. Sorry. When I give solutions, it isn't because I'm ready to go and I'm all, I got all the gear and all the kit and I can survive my own and grow my own food and I can make it on my own out in the woods while I'm just shut the gates. No, that ain't what I'm talking about. Fuck. I probably wouldn't make it a week. Sadly, my kids probably wouldn't make it, my wife. But that doesn't change the fact that you deserve to be free if you can make it. And we all do. We all deserve that, but nobody will demand that. They will say they demand it, and then they rely on the Supreme Court, which no longer matters. Like I said in the Heller decision, I said it for years, that the Heller decision did far more damage to rights than it did good. Because you now have a conservative justice, who is known as this constitutional scholar, Scalia, piece of shit, saying that government could violate people's rights based on what government thought. When I first read that, I was like, wait a second. People act like this is a good decision. Well, it codifies the individual's right. Fuck them. They don't own me. I say I have the right because I say I have the right. If I ain't bothering nobody, who cares? Well, because it's what you might do. You have a record. And? Motherfucker, you'd have a record too if you got caught. I'm a hell of a nice guy. Fuck, I just got caught a couple times. This is going to be slow and methodical, man. Look at this. This is cool right here. This is sick right here. This is nice. If I could have a car, an old school, look at this thing. Old Bel Air wagon. It's nice, right? Cool. Am I shaking for you? What's the director? Well, like he did Any Given Sunday was one of his movies, where and all of his movies is like shh, and you're sitting in the theater watching it, and you're getting sick because the screen's doing this shit the whole time. It's going shh, vibrating. I forget his name. I don't watch movies anymore. I gave up that. I haven't watched a movie in a long time. I just watch South Park a lot. So I'm going way off topic with this one. Did you see where they're going to try to change the name of monkeypox because because it's racist? Oh shit! Like, what does that imply? You know what I'm saying? Well, but it's more of a scam. You know what I mean? Let's get these people think that because this disease is called monkeypox because monkeys, come from monkeys, I guess, originated from monkeys. Fuck, I don't know. Or it makes you look like a monkey, whatever. Implies that it has something to do with a certain race. If that's your way of thinking, you think you're a fucking monkey. I didn't say it. You think it. You said it. Like I said, the scam's so big, you could talk for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and just go from one part of it to the next. And we're being hit with everything. In my opinion, like we've all been scammed. We've all been scammed out of our lives. I know some people have had better lives than other people. Some people have had great lives. That person, that bus right there, probably has a great life. That person, that bus right there, probably does too. It's the other part of the band. Doesn't mean their life couldn't have been better without all the scams. But everybody's afraid to die. And that's what it really boils down to. Well, I'm gonna see my screen before I take sunglasses off. What is up, my peeps? Hey, I posted two links. So I posted the community tab of Cashapp and also a PayPal for NG. Yeah, he has some shit happen. He's got to move. Moving trucks are super expensive. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing. So if you can help him out, throw him a few bucks. If we all throw him a few bucks, everybody can afford a 20. There's 20 people here. 20 people throwing 20 bucks. He's got 400 bucks. That definitely helped. I haven't donated yet. I told him today I would, and I will. But if y'all do it too, it will make life easier on him, a little less stress for him and his family. It's not just him, it's his wife and his kids. And if we can't help each other out, until people start helping each other out, people are always going to reach for the help, the easiest help they can get. You know what I mean? And that would be government. Here's the thing: you can help him, or he can go down and get some government help, and they'll come with a gun and make you help everybody else, which they're going to do anyway. But they're going to try to anyway, especially now with I'm in a really bad spot, so my phone's probably going to be cut out. I think it always does through here. I don't know. I've been talking forever. But, there's supposed to be minimal laws, but our government's supposed to be small, and there's no change in what it is. Not a civil, there's no rebellion that would be good enough to change it, because there's far too many people that would label you a terrorist. That's what all this terrorist shit has been about for the past 2 decades. Convincing you that anybody who goes against, you remember what George Bush said? George W. Was it George W? The young one, the last George. You're either with us or against us. And when he said that, he meant the U.S. government. He didn't mean the people. If you're against them, they're going to convince everybody that's with them that you're a terrorist of some kind. Now you have the FBI putting out memos with all these different flags and sayings and everything else that makes you a domestic terrorist. You know, the white male is the Muslims, not Muslims, are just jumping the border with Mexicans, and it's okay. Last count was like 50 of them had been linked to known worldwide terrorist organizations. I bet they released them the next day too. Hey, here's this ankle monitor. Come back to court. Okay, I'll be there. I can't get a motherfucking OR bond if I do anything. You're giving all these border jumpers ORs, expecting them to come back. What they should do is make me in the country a death penalty case. I'm just kidding. I don't think they should do that. I think everybody should have the opportunity to, go and do whatever they want. At the same time, there's people that own that land. The system we have now, I have a real problem with it. Change the system, I might not have as much of a problem with it. But the system we have now, being here illegally, should be a death penalty case. Off a few fucking wands, and Jose will think twice about coming. I had heard at one time, and I don't know how true this is, that as a resident of the United States, a legal resident, that you could legally ask somebody for their green cards. Now, if you look back at self-governance, I mean, I guess you could. Because the people have to police their own communities, right? It's just not that way anymore. Now we have state hired thugs that do that for us. They protect and serve the shit out of us. And most people love them for it. Pigs. Bootlickers and pigs. Why don't we call them pig lickers? I know, because the pigs wear the boots. I know. I get it. I do get it. I'm just, They are too. Fucking pigs. Anyway, I gotta go, guys. I'm out of shit to say for now. Thank you for letting me relieve my frustration on your ears. Beautiful day out today. What y'all doing? Who's here? What's saying? Hold on, I gotta turn the brightness on my phone over. I can't see. Hang on a second. Alright, we're rocking now. Good day, Mr. Anderson. Every time I say that, I think of the Matrix. And we're in the Matrix, man. Except we're not giving off energy. They're not stealing our energy, they're stealing our money, our currency. And now they're making the middle class poor. I know somebody that lost $600,000 last quarter in the stock market. $500,000, over $500,000. And they're like a smart invested person, like they're on it. Another guy said that, every guy sold me my land we were talking about too the other day. And he said, he's got a pretty conservative portfolio, and he was making about 25 grand a year, which I don't know how conservative is. If you're making 25 a year, if you're making 4%, 5%, I don't know. But anyway, and he's been losing the last couple of years too. Everybody's losing, man. That's the point, to eliminate the middle class. You'll have a class of uber rich, and then everybody else. Red lines will be real, and people will change your government, which our founding document, the Declaration of Independence, states very clearly that we have the right to do that. The government don't want to be abolished or changed. It wants to grow. Percent, you can afford it. Go work an extra 250 hours a year. You got to work. Guy leaves a comment the other day on somewhere. Drives a truck. He says, I open carry my cup holder through Nevada, Arizona, Utah. But when I come back to my home state of California, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hey, man, you should probably do it. If your cup holder is your holster in your car, you're a fucking idiot. You are an idiot. You have a better chance of wrecking a cup holder is not a holster. Just like your car's not a safe, your cup holder is not a holster. If your gut sticks out so far that you can't get to a gun that's in a holster on your belt, you might want to think about. That's pretty cool. Okay. Let's see. That's pretty cool. I think a boat glides down. Please donate to NG's Cash App or PayPal.